In this video, we're going to be exploring stage 3 of the 3 stages of recovery from fatigue-related conditions. So in the previous 2 videos, we explored stage 1, the deep rest stage, stage 2, the tired and wired stage. In this video, we're exploring stage 3, the reintegration stage. Now, the reason why these stages are important is different interventions are helpful at different stages of the recovery process. Also, different approaches to recovery are also helpful at different stages. So do watch the previous 2 videos. We talked towards the end of the last video that one of the clues we're moving from stage 2, from tired and wired, into stage 3, the reintegration stage, is that some of the underlying patterns start to resurface. This is because we now have more energy. So the patterns that we've had to sideline because we just didn't have the energy to do them start to sneak back in again. Let's say, for example, you've got a helper pattern. This is where you make everyone else's needs more important than your own. You ignore your feelings to give to others, and that becomes depleting. And you haven't been able to do that because you haven't had the energy. Or it's been easier to say no because I simply don't have the energy to do that. Now, you sort of have the energy, but you don't want to do it, or it's not healthy, it's not in balance for you to do it. So what can happen is, as energy starts to come back more, we start to do the very patterns, helper, achiever, perfectionist, controller, anxiety pattern, that may have played a role in us crashing in the first place. It's therefore really important to work with those patterns at this stage. What can also happen here is what really helped us move from stage 1 and through stage 2 may be trapping us now. Because now we do have more energy, we do have more resilience. So constantly measuring and tracking everything we do to avoid doing too much, which may have helped us break a boom and bust cycle, the problem is now we become so anxious about everything that we do that it's not the activity that drains us, it's the dysregulation in our nervous system about doing the activity that drains us. So breaking free from some of those controller patterns can be important. The other thing that can be a challenge here is at stage 2, tired and wired, we really work to regulate our nervous system, but we're often somewhat isolated from the world around us because we haven't got the same energy to engage in things. Stage 3, we come back, we reintegrate, we come back much more into the world. We now need to learn to regulate our nervous system when we're around other people, to regulate our nervous system at work, to regulate our nervous system around tricky family dynamics, to regulate our nervous system when we're in a busy crowd. So those same tools and strategies are important, but we're broadening the application of how we are using them. At stage 3, we can also really complete that emotional healing work. Maybe there's certain detox or sort of more challenging physical protocols that we really now have got the physical capacity to engage with. Now, also just a note of reassurance. It's somewhat inevitable, particularly as we come into stage 3, that we don't know where the edges are. We don't know how much is too much, and sometimes you don't know where the edges are until you hit the edges. When we hit the edges, that means we do too much and we have a crash. You may cycle back through these stages. So you go into crash for a few days or a week or 2, then you come back into tired and wired, and then you come back into the reintegration stage. Just because we're back in a crash, it doesn't mean all the good work is lost. It doesn't mean you're back where you were before. We cycle through these stages both on a micro level as well as being the macro stages of the recovery journey. It's also easier each time we cycle through because we know what's happening and we know what we need to do in response to what's happening. Now, if you'd like to find out more about which stage of recovery you are at, please do book a free discovery call at theoptimumhealthclinic.com, and we can explore whether the Optimum Health Clinic approach may be able to help you on your recovery journey. Hope that's been helpful. Thank you for watching.